Welcome to another session from the Pro Mixing Forum. My name is Matt, also known as Sonic Singularity. This is going to be part one of the mixing of the song Transcention, a song by APZX. It is in the genre of progressive trance. This should be fun. I want to thank APZX for allowing me to use his tracks to help you guys out in this pro mixing forum to learn how to mix. And this song is, I believe, it's about 40 or 27 tracks, 26 tracks, I believe. And you'll see that the track numbers are out of order right now. The numbers on them seem to be out of order because I went and put all of them in order. And you'll see right here when they start. See how this is? It goes right down. Everything's coming in order. And that's the way I like it to be in the mixer as I'm mixing. I put everything in order. So I went through and got all these tracks, put them in order just like this, so they come right in sequence like that. And if you look in the mixer here, they're all going right in order. Now I'm going to show you a little trick so that when you're doing this, one thing you'll notice, okay, I want you to watch here, the special effects here is number one. If I take it and move it in the sequencer, see, it moves in the sequencer, but it does not move in the mixer. If I wanted it to move in the mixer, what I would do is select the tracks that I want to be the same in the mixer. So I'll just select both these tracks, and what I do is I right click and I put sort selected devices to groups. So now you'll see it is now corresponds with what's happening here in the mixer. And you could select all of them that way and right click them. You have to select all of them. You know, if you change two tracks or 30 or 40 tracks, just select all of them, right click and select sort selected device groups. And it's that easy to put everything in order the way you want it. So now I have all the stems here in order. I got my mixing channels all in order nicely as far as when the elements come in the mix. And I've got the mixer here and nothing's been done in the mixer. All the tracks are right in here. And what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to do some production too, because these tracks don't have effects on them or anything on them. So we're going to be able to do some cool production, and I'm going to show you some tips and tricks in the genre of progressive trance to use in your mix. And so what we'll do here is listen to this, just the raw tracks, just so you can get a feel about what we're going to do. And you can check this out. It's pretty cool. Okay, so there you go. The song Transcention. Pretty cool song. And what we're going to do next is we're going to start going through each track and starting to define it and see the way we want it to sound in the mix, with any effects and everything. So I'll see you in part 2. Okay, so what I have going on here is I do not like stereo kicks. Never have, and the reason I don't is because they are a mono instrument. There can be cases where you could use a stereo kick. I'm sure there are people that have found, areas where they wanted a stereo kick. But in this song, I don't hear having a stereo kick as a benefit. And actually, I'm going to give you an example of how a stereo kick will not sound as good as a mono kick. It just doesn't have, it's different. It doesn't have the punch, the kick. It doesn't cut through as well, in my opinion. So what I did here is I rendered this file, the stereo file, to mono. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And what I have here is, this is the mono, and this is the stereo, and it's just what you're gonna do is just listen to it, cycling through back and forth. And I want you to hear the subtle difference between the mono and the stereo kick. There is a difference, and you either have to have a really good set of monitors in a room that has been totally set up to monitor and not affect your monitoring source, or it'd be best to listen into some headphones that you're used to, a good monitoring source that you're used to hear this. It's subtle, but it's there. And when you're mixing, these are important things. The subtle things that each element can offer you in a mix. And, when we're talking about progressive trance music, the kick, in electric music, period, the kick is so important. So right from the beginning, I want you to listen to this. Do you hear it? It's just when the mono kick is tighter. That's the best way I can put it. It's very subtle, but it's there. And you got to remember, this is unaffected. This is just the raw sound of the kick. And I would rather have it be mono because it to me, it sounds better. And I think it has more punch, and I think it will cut through in the mix much better. So this is how, in Reason, other DAWs, I believe there's some other DAWs that's much easier, but in Reason, this is how you have to do it. Okay, I'm going to show you how to convert a stereo file to a mono file in Reason. In other DAWs, it's much easier. In Reason, this is how you do it, and maybe one day they'll make it easier, but nevertheless, this is how you do it. So you go to the track that you want to do this to, and you'll see right over here, it says Record Source. You need to click that. You go in here and you make an audio channel, and if you press record, you can go right down here, you press mono, and then you pick either left or right. Because this is an identical stereo file, it's you can just pick, I just pick left, and then you record. You set your cursor here, you press record, and what's going to happen is this track is going to record this track, but it's only going to record the left track. and you got to listen through the whole song, and that's how you do it in Reason. There's another way you can do it by rendering, but I just do it this way. I find it easier, and I just do it that way. So that's how you convert a stereo track to mono. And if you're ever, when you're mixing, it's in my opinion, right, more often than not, the mono kick should be a mono track. So that's it for this session of part 2. In the next part 3, we'll start working on getting these tracks leveled out for a good static mix. See you there.